All right, guys, this is Jason with Primal Outdoors channel, and I am with Michael with Wanderlust Overland, and he is with Wanderlust Overland, and they did the build out, the complete build out here on the KIA Telluride that Ron Tonkin KIA provided me to use on the channel for the next few months. I'm gonna let Michael introduce himself, and then we're gonna go into detail about all the different upgrades that they did.
Like Jason said, I'm Michael, owner of Wanderlust Overland here in Oregon City. We have been in business for a few years, building out trailers and doing overland rig builds. And Jason and Ron Tonkin came to us with the build, and we think it turned out great.
All right, so like I said, we're gonna now go through each piece and let you guys hear in detail what Michael had to do to make this all happen.
So one of the major components of this build was we wanted to give a little more clearance in the front of the Telluride, and part of that was building a custom winch mount bumper. We trimmed out the factory plastic bumper to give us more clearance and also for us to fit this nice flush bumper in. We just started cutting and trimming up and did some cardboard cutouts to kind of mock it up, model it up the way we wanted to. We brought in a worn 10,000 pound synthetic winch and we tied it into the existing subframe where all the heavy duty bumper components are on the rig, and yeah, put in some proper shackle recovery points using the Worn Epic shackles, and we really like how this one turned out. It's nice and flush up, doesn't stick way out, and gives you plenty of protection and clearance. All right, under the hood, we wanted to be able to have the ability to air tires back up after they were aired down. Also to be able to, you know, inflate something out in the field if you need to, that sort of thing. So we brought in an ARB twin compressor on a custom mount that we did. We mounted the switch right here next to the compressor, so it's real easy to get to. You don't have to run back and forth into the cabin. And custom steel mount that we mounted to the body here and to some existing bolts there. We didn't tap anything else. And then we ran the electrical over to the factory battery on this, just because that one charges from the alternator faster. And then that leaves the spare battery or the second battery to run the fridge and doesn't run it down. All right, so another major component of the Telluride build was to get more ground clearance, and we did that with a combination of the bigger tires and doing a custom lift on it. With this being a brand new rig, there's no aftermarket support in terms of aftermarket suspension, so we had to design our own. On the front and the rear, we did two types of spacer lifts. On the front, we did a top hat lift along with a preload lift as well. Gave us right at 2 inches in the front. And then on the rear, we did also a spacer lift. Had to custom machined a cup basically that the top hat of the coil sits up in. This was actually a very easy suspension to work on, one of the easiest suspensions I've ever done. The front struts come right out. You don't have to unbolt a bunch of things to do it. Same thing with the rear. And then once it was all said and done, we were surprised actually at how close it was to the factory alignment, even with the 2-inch lift. We took it into LNC trucks, had the alignment checked. They had to tweak a few little things and it went right back into factory alignment, no issues.
All right, guys, so the one thing that Wanderlust did not do on the vehicle is put the wheels and tires on. That was done by Les Schwab in Gladstone, Oregon. They went with the KMC 708 Bullies in bronze, which I think was really nice with the kind of greenish gray color of the car. We went with the open range, Les Schwab open range tire. I've been using this same tire on my pickup truck for a little over 6 months or so now. I've been very happy with it. It gets good traction off-road while still giving you a good, quiet, and nice ride on-road. So I just think it's just a great all-around tire, great all-terrain. We went with 265/60s 18s. I really wanted to be able to go down to a 17, but we couldn't do that. We couldn't get the wheels to fit on there with the disc brakes. It was just the brakes are too big, and so we couldn't get a 17 to go on there. So that would have been nice, but you know, the 18s have been working, and I think it'll be just fine.
As much room as the interior of this Telluride has, you always need more space for bulky stuff that gets dirty. We needed room for a full-size spare. Although it would fit down below, it kind of sticks down further than we were happy with. So we went with a Rhino Rack platform roof rack. We had to do a little bit of custom mounting on it. The way the roofline slopes on the Telluride, it makes the rack really want to kind of look like it's lifting up at the front. So we had to do two separate leg heights on it. A little more work than we were hoping, but at the same time, Rhino Rack is working on a specific application for Telluride. It's not out yet, so we had to do a little bit of custom work on it to make it work. But it turned out great and makes for a nice room. Primal to take whatever they need to up on the roof.
All right guys, so on top of the rack, I put a set of the Action Tracks recovery boards. I got those mounted up front crossways. In this location, I actually don't got it yet, but I'm gonna put a pair of Quick Fists and put my Fiskars axe right here. Like Michael said earlier, we do have the spare tire mounted up there using the Rhino Rack little anchors with straps that you can get from Rhino Rack. I use some Unistrut, which you guys have seen me use in another video to mount my recovery boards on my pickup, but I use Unistrut to mount the jack. I'm going to make a couple adjustments to that yet, but still it's going to be basically the same design, a couple pieces of Unistrut, and then a little twist knob here that basically holds the jack firmly on the vehicle. I really like this because it has, you know, the jack is a big heavy object, and I just like the fact that it's laying on the rack and that it's very firm. There's no movement. You can see I'm moving the whole entire car trying to move the jack, but yet it's still fairly easy to access. I just have to untwist these two knobs and it pops off. On the side here, on this side, we have the Rhino Rack shovel and the Rhino Rack mount that goes with the Pioneer rack that the Wanderlust put on here. So that's working out well. You just got a couple knobs here and then it pops right off and it sits nicely on the vehicle. On the other side of the vehicle, we have a 79-inch CVT awning, and then I also have an awning room for that. So when I put the awning out, I can actually put a room on it, so it will be capable, even though I typically have the trailer. If I want, I can just go with the car and camp with just the car using the CVT awning and awning room. So that'll be a nice setup.
All right, another major component of the build was getting a dual battery system in here to be able to run a fridge, be able to charge electronics off the grid. We got a Group 31 AGM battery from Excess Power, which actually is really nice. If the KIA Telluride comes with an 80 amp hour AGM from the factory in the factory location, so the two batteries actually play really nice together. They don't need different charging profiles, etc. Really easy to add a second battery system. We're using a Blue Sea ACR, which is automatic charging relay with manual overrides. And if you need more juice than the battery provides, we've got a Zamp solar port to plug in a Zamp 90 watt slim portable solar panel. All right, one of the issues that we did run into on this build was the hitch receiver for towing trailers. The factory, when we got the vehicle, the factory hitch was not available to us. It only came on the rigs that were ordered from the factory with the trailer package, and this one was not. So we thought we were actually going to end up having to custom fabricate a receiver hitch. Kia came through at the very last minute, and they were able to get us the factory receiver that bolted right up. And the tow package comes with a 4-pin plug, and it is not plug and play for a 7-pin. You have to actually run your wires for your brake controller, etc. There's no factory brake controller. Not uncommon, but it would be nice if they would have added that for a vehicle that's supposed to tow 5,000 pounds. It's required.
All right, guys, I'm with Chris with Canby Graphics, and they're going to be the ones doing the wrap on the Telluride, and I was just going to have him kind of go over real quick on what they're doing to the vehicle and some of the other services they offer here. So anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, so we were presented this project from Michael at Wanderlust, who did the Overland upgrade to the vehicle. And we were given some information as far as the color of the Telluride, and then the addition of the rims that they chose, which was a very cool copper type of color. We were given simple directions as far as trying to keep the vehicle in a northwest theme and to create a concept that would kind of go with the whole package of the vehicle that I think we're going for. So we chose to pick a material and concept that would flow with both the color of the vehicle and more specifically the cool color of the rims. So we ended up choosing a Oracal 951 antique bronze color that we printed light gradients to create the kind of mountain northwest theme, along with doing some chrome delete with that same color around the vehicle so it's consistent from front to back. And that's basically what we're doing for the vehicle. And it's one of the many things that we do as far as printing to many different types of material rather than just white, and you get these really cool custom effects that you don't see every day. And that's kind of something that we try to specialize in, is creating concepts that are new and different and turn heads when people see them. In our shop we do many other different things. We're producing some stickers for Jason, stickers for Wanderlust as well. We're kind of an all-in-one shop. We do banners, signs, vehicle graphics, OEM graphics for many boat manufacturers across the country.
Great. Well, anyways, I can't be happier with the way that the Kia is coming out. I think it's going to look really good. I think it is going to definitely turn a lot of heads. You had your own graphics. You have your own graphics design team in here, and they worked well with me in trying to kind of get some of the details worked out, and yeah, really excited. So I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to seeing how the car turns out when it's all done. All right, guys, well, that pretty much goes through the car. There's going to be a couple other little things that I'm going to do. I'm going to add a fridge slide into it as well, but I'm going to do that here in a couple days. But I think Michael did a fantastic job. I think Canby Graphics did an amazing job with the graphics and everything. I think the whole car just looks really nice, and a few more details and she'll be ready to go. So what do you think, Michael, after working with this car and being a brand spanking new car on the market, how difficult was this to work with?
As far as doing one-off stuff and working on the vehicle, I have to say the Telluride was actually really easy to work with. There's a ton of room under the hood. We could have put the dual battery systems and the air compressor and other stuff under the hood if we wanted to. So lots of options there. The suspension is really easy to work on. I think once the aftermarket gets a hold of this thing, there's going to be a lot more stuff, or I hope there is, because I really enjoy this car. It's going to be a great adventure vehicle for families and stuff like that need more room. Maybe not need quite a Jeep Rubicon,
right,
but a much nicer vehicle to be in. So it's, you know, we had some issues with the roof rack and a few other little things, but that was just growing pains of a new vehicle that there wasn't aftermarket support for, and it's coming.
Right. Yeah, and you know, one of the things is depending on when you guys are watching this video, I'm going to be taking this vehicle to Overland Expo 2019, which is coming up here for us here in like a couple weeks, May 17th. So if you're seeing this video before that and you're going to be at Expo, definitely come by and see everything. You can touch and feel and look at everything that Michael did to the vehicle. But I've already taken the vehicle out for a week, and I took it on a big long trip, covered a lot of Oregon, went through snow up high in the mountains, high desert, some Jeep trails, a lot of other different terrain that I drove the vehicle on. And I can say it's a very, very capable vehicle. It's not a Jeep Rubicon, it's not a Toyota 4Runner, but if, like Michael said, if you're looking for a vehicle that is going to be very comfortable on road, a great traveling vehicle with some, you know, very acceptable off-road capabilities, I'm really liking this thing. It has tons of horsepower. It pulls my trailer no problem. Great gas mileage and a very comfortable ride with a lot of other comfort features. So yeah, really excited to use this for the next few months. And if you guys want to see some of the adventures I go on with it, you know, just subscribe to the channel. And if you like this video, please give it a like, and we'll see you guys again outside.